So from Oshomole and Airpiece to Kwamwan and ValueJet, now we have Ibom Air versus Comfort. So it seems like something very, very crazy is actually going on in Nigerian airports these days. So Comfort was on a flight heading to Lagos, which when the flight was about to take off, she was being instructed to switch off her phone, and she insisted she wasn't going to switch off her phone. I don't even know what that even means. It's the normal practice everywhere that you're supposed to, at least at the bare minimum, put your phone in flight mode. I don't necessarily know about switching off. All the time that I have flown, all I had to do was just to put my phone in flight mode. So I don't know if Ibom Air specifically have a policy that says you must switch off your phone. So I cannot verify that. But nevertheless, she didn't want to switch off her phone. And one random passenger forcefully took her phone and switched it off, which I think is ridiculous. And it seems to me this is the kind of mindset Nigerians have, where they don't understand the limits of their right. You have no right to grab anybody's phone. It's just sad that we don't have a culture where we sue people in this part of the world. Otherwise, why would you think you have the right to grab somebody else's property? If she doesn't want to switch off her phone, it is the job of the airline to have her removed from the aircraft. You cannot self-appoint yourself as a passenger that you forcefully grab somebody else's phone and turn it off. Nevertheless, the phone was turned off. They landed in Lagos, and that was where the real drama started, because after landing in Lagos, she confronted the person who forcibly turned off her phone. I think that led to a lot of exchange. The chief of the air hostess intervened. That escalated the whole issue because Comfort now assaulted the chief hostess. Allegedly, she had beaten her with her shoes, took off her wig, removed her glasses. At least that's part of what is in the charge against her. So she assaulted the air hostess, and at the very least, we saw her slap one of the air hostess on video. So there is no doubt that she actually assaulted the air hostess. So after doing that, they were able to get some guys on the ground to come in and grab her and take her out of the aircraft. While taking her out of the aircraft, one of the hostess, one of the hostess ripped off her top. And somehow, I don't see a lot of Nigerians talk about that because it's actually a crime. You cannot rip somebody else's clothes off without their permission. And it's a crime punishable by 2 years. For me, in my own opinion, is point blank sexual assault. There's just no two ways about it. But under Nigerian law, it is called indecent assault. So the air hostess, who have been violated and assaulted before, no doubt about that, went ahead to also violate and commit a crime against the person who assaulted her. So you have two people who committed crime now. The Comfort, the passenger, and the air hostess who rip Comfort's clothing. Now, what I notice with a lot of Nigerians is Nigerians don't really care about the law. They just care about the law being used against them. And I think this case, this drama actually demonstrates that, because if you care about the law, as you advocate for the airline to prosecute Comfort, the passenger, for assaulting the air hostess, you should be advocating for the air hostess to be prosecuted for the crime she committed as well, which is to rip somebody else's clothes without their permission. Also, a staff was the one who published that video of her nudity to the internet. That was done by somebody who was a staff, probably, I guess, who was filming that whole drama. And under Lagos State government law, if you publish somebody else's nudity, it is also a crime punishable by law for 3 years. But I notice Nigerians are not advocating for none of this. And that is because Nigerians have already taken sides and they don't care about the law. They just don't want the law used against them or against the side they have picked. Otherwise, there shouldn't be any reason why we shouldn't be advocating for both Comfort and the hostess who committed the crime of ripping her clothes off There's no reason why we shouldn't be advocating for both of them to be prosecuted and thrown in jail. But thankfully, the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, have actually taken a step in that direction by saying the person who ripped the clothes and the person who published the video is actually going to be prosecuted. And I think that's kind of nice. It is good to see. But at the same time, it further shows the hypocrisy in the country, even with a lot of people you will call ordinary people. Because one, there is a double standard here. When Senator Oshomole blocked a particular terminal, again, allegedly, that's the story we read in the public, he blocked the particular terminal and nobody put hands on him. I said it then that he should have been restrained, he should have been put in handcuffs, and he should have been removed. When Kwam grounded a flight, he literally held the plane hostage by not letting the plane take off. I said it as well. He should have been in handcuffs. He should have been removed. Nobody put hands on him. But you have a random girl who is just an ordinary Nigerian, I'm guessing, violated all kind of rules just like the men did. But somehow she was the one that was repeatedly violated to the point crimes were committed against her as well. And that shows the double standard, that there seems to be two different laws in this country. There is one law for the rich, there is another one for the poor. And it seems like we live in this banana republic where our laws is made out of Animal Farm. For anybody that have read that book, there's a specific quote in that book where it says all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. And that is what I seem to see. Otherwise, why will Oshomole and Kwam do everything they did and nobody put hands on them? And you have an ordinary Nigerian who violated a lot of things, and I believe she should absolutely be prosecuted for the assault on the air hostess. But I don't see any Nigerian screaming that the air hostess also committed a lot of crime. But anyway, that's the story. For me, I think both Comforts should be prosecuted. And I think the air hostess who tore her clothes should be prosecuted. I think the person who distributed that video should be prosecuted as well. So there are about 3 people that should be in jail and should be prosecuted, not just the Comforts alone. So let me know what you think. See you on the next one.